Trash Cinema 101.
Oh, hi. Welcome to Trash Cinema 101, here every single Monday and Wednesday, doing various different movies or educational films or other ephemera that has fallen by the wayside, and I get the pleasure of live streaming to you here on the tubes of you. I'm your host, Logan Donahoo, for those that have maybe never tuned in before, but let's be honest, we're all friends here. So, I have a treat for you today. It's a newest installment in my ongoing, same as it ever was, ongoing series of videos from the 1950s that teach you all about dating and marriage and what that's supposed to look like. And so today's presentation is, Are You Ready for Marriage? From 1950. Oh, you're in for a treat today. Yay! Looking at everybody up in the chat room. Hi, Sophocles and Amanda. Hi, Hoyne. Hi, John. Narcotic Casserole in the house. Ginny. Hello, hello. I see you all wondering if you're ready for the marriage. Marriage is what brings us here together today. So, before we hop into today's pop quiz and subsequent film, I want to, as always, give a full shout out and thanks to everybody that supports me over on Patreon. Your patronage helps me keep going. Lights paid, actual lights existing in the first place. All of that's because of you guys. So, if you haven't before, by all means, feel free to pop on over to logandonahoo.com. I'll put the link into the chat room at the very end of today's presentation, where you can go ahead and click and either sponsor or throw a coin to your Witcher, or if you're not ready for that level of commitment, and I know money is tight, hello from Furlough Land, by all means, you can just stalk me on all forms of social media if you want to get me into your eyeballs. I have been rollicking around on TikTok and Twitter and all sorts of other fun spots, so feel free to stalk me. Yay! Hello, Alexander. So yeah, also, if you want to stalk me, you can by physical actual snail mail by sending it to my post office box over at Post Office Box 1503, Orlando, Florida 32802. Again, that's Logan Donahoo at P.O. Box 1503, Orlando, Florida 32802. So, without further ado, I highly advise throwing this broadcast up onto your TV or smart TV or computer or whatever your broadcasting device is. That way you have use of your mobile phone, because we're going to play some trivia games. Let me just hop on into there. Bam! So, our trivia game today, again, is on Kahoot. So, if you have the Kahoot app, you want to go ahead and send that or pull that up, or go to the Kahoot website, which you can go ahead and go to by going to kahoot.it. That's Kahoot, Kahoot.it, where you can punch in that room code. Your room code is 3869032. That is 3869032. Where we can all play together. Yay! Got the founder up in the house. Narcotic Casserole, followed by Wayne. I really like this music today. It's supposed to be like fantasy, but it sounds like the circus is coming to town. Which, I mean, it is, in its own way. Fantasy. Again, that code is 3869032. In Cahoots, we got Scott, we got Wayne, we got the founder, we got Foxy Grandpa in the house, hey! Spranklies. Spranklies? Spranklies, yes. That's what that is. It's Sophocles and Eudora Sprinkles merged together. Spranklies. COVIDiot hater. Oh my god. We getting aggressive up in this easy. I want to talk. I'm making memes that are so angry that I misspell the word demonstrators. It's a thing. Looks like we got 7 players, 9 viewers. Give you guys the last couple seconds. Did anyone do anything fun, festive today? Watch anything interesting on your favorite streaming services? I've been getting more and more into Twitch. I've been watching just Twitch screens of like streams of people like just chatting or editing videos, and I found that's my jam. Like people playing video games, it's fine, but it's not my jam. Watching someone like replay chunks of a video over and over again and try to perfect it, that's my jam. It's soothing. All right, give people 30 more seconds. 7 players, if that's all or more people. Massage and orthopedic adjustment. Oh, like videos of massage and orthopedic adjustment? Like, or did you get massage and orthopedic adjustment? Or chiropractic orthopedic? Chiropractic. My bad, Ginny. Awesome. I feel like everyone that's in is going to be in, but I'll leave it on open so people can pop on in. Ooh, mainly editing the next Comfort Flicks episode. Holler. That's awesome. Cool. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into our game for today. This is the Are You Ready for Marriage quiz. In 3, 2, 1. Question 1. It's a familiar one. Today's short was made by Coronet Films. What is a coronet? Remember me? Is it a smaller simple crown, a big frilly necktie, a 1950s car with a lot of chrome, or a net that you drape over yourself to avoid corona? Because you're Vincent Price's daughter. I'm making references. That's right. Today's short was made by Coronet Films. What is a coronet? Is it a smaller simple crown, a big frilly necktie, a 1950s car with lots of chrome, or a net that you drape over yourself to avoid corona? Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, yep, 6 of 7 of you guys remembered. Yes, in fact, it is a small or simple crown. Let's see who answered first and got the most. Ooh, Covidiot Hater in the lead with 809 points. True or false? This film was made with the help of a research professor in family life from the University of North Carolina. True or false? This film was made with the help of a research professor in family life from the University of North Carolina. True or false? Bum, bum. Got the answers pouring on in. Whoop! 6 of you got it. Yes, true. It is, in fact, from a research professor in family life from the University of North Carolina. Bless me, which branch? I don't know, but that's how it's credited on the thing. Let's see how people did. Oop, Covidiot Hater still in the lead, followed by Spranklies and the Founder. Next question. This film goes over a checklist of 3 things to think of before marriage. This list is called blank. Is it Cupid's checklist, Eros's exam, Venus's values, or Aphrodite's analysis? This film goes over a checklist of 3 things to think about before marriage. This list is called blank. Is it Cupid's checklist, Eros's exam, Venus's values, or Aphrodite's analysis? Bum 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 boom 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 boom. Ooh, yep, Cupid's checklist. You got it. Yeah, I liked making up the alliteration of all the other ones. Let's see who answered that the fastest. We got Covidiot Hater still on a streak, followed by the Founder, and then In Cahoots coming up in a close third. Next question, 4 of 5. In the film, what do they use to illustrate the differences between a man and a woman in marriage? Is it pipe cleaners, glitter, and glue? Is it small dolls, rubber bands, and string? Is it Twinkies, carved Spam, and spray cheese? Or is it seashells, pine cones, and a picture of Jesus? I'm not making this up. In the film, what did they use to illustrate the differences between a man and a woman in a marriage? Is it pipe cleaners, glitter, and glue? Is it small dolls, rubber bands, and string? Is it Twinkies, carved spam, and spray cheese? Or is it seashells, pine cones, and a picture of Jesus? Oh, 4 of you got that right. Yes, in fact, it is small dolls, rubber bands, and string. Wait till you see it. All right, let's see. Ooh, Covidiot Hater in the lead, followed by Wayne, and then the founder. We got In Cahoots and Foxy Grandpa coming up behind it. This last question could be the tiebreaker. Let us see. Tiebreaker. The determiner. Let's see what the last question, 5 of 5, is, and it's double the points because it's the final question. In the end, the couple just wants to make sure they have more than just blank. Is it bam, zap, ha-cha-cha, or boing? In the end, the couple wants to make sure they have more than just blank. Is it bam, zap, ha-cha-cha, or boing? This is my art. Yep, it's one of these onomatopoeia words. Bam, zap, ha-cha-cha, or boing. You'll see in the film. It's a lot. Oh, almost there? 2 of you got it right. It's boing. Yeah, I know. That's random. Let's see who got it, though. The podium. In 3rd place, we have Wayne, followed by In Cahoots. Last but not least, it is, in fact, Covidiot Hater. Congratulations. 5 out of 5. Y'all are good. Followed by the founder and Foxy Grandpa, taking up the lead behind them in 4th and 5th place. Congratulations, everybody. That was festive and fun. Ooh, let me make sure I got all this ready. Bam. Let's hop on out of here. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Had as much fun as I did. So, before we get started, again, I'd like to thank everybody that helps me out by donating to me on either Patreon or my various tip jars at logandonahoo.com. I'll throw those links in the chat room at the end of the presentation today. And last but not least, I also have some PSAs because I want to help people stay socially aware because we're in the middle of really revolutionary times. Black Lives Matter. Hashtag. So, I'll be throwing those also at the end of today's presentation. So, without further ado, this is Are You Ready for Marriage? All the way from 1950, presented by Coronet Films. Enjoy. Yay, congratulations, Jenny. That is like racy for the 1950s.
Good night, darling.
Night.
Larry,
Yes, Larry.
isn't it exciting about our getting married?
That's why. They're engaged now or something. Alone in the darkness with your thoughts. What will you do, Larry? What?
Walking on a pink cloud. So I asked her last night at her graduation.
I'm gonna use that as a euphemism.
And she said yes. We're going to be married in August.
Wow, married?
Mm.
She's just finishing high school, and you still have 2 years at the university. That's a tough road, Larry.
Finish
What are you
high
going to use
school.
for money?
Well, Sue's folks were going to pay something to put her in junior college here in town for 2 years. So we'll have that. But instead of going to college, she'll get a full-time job in campus town.
Oh.
Say she doesn't care anymore about education. So with that, and my part-time job, we'll get by.
The optimism of youth.
You're Sue now. You two probably want to be alone.
Sue, honey.
Oh, Larry.
Well, what's the matter?
Larry, darling.
It's the folks. We had a terrible scene. I couldn't sleep a wink. They don't approve. They say I'm too young.
Well,
They
you're
want me
18.
to finish 2 more years of schooling before I even get engaged. Oh, Larry.
Oh, buck up, sweetheart.
Is it weird
They
by the
can't stop me.
2020s I actually
Relax.
agree with her
And
parents?
that's normal till after your graduation next week. Then I can borrow Phil's car. Down to Greenville. There's a justice of the peace down there. We'll elope, honey.
But Larry,
Greenville,
I
North
wanted
Carolina.
a church wedding. And all the parties and showers for me, too. And my folks. That would break Mom's
Date
heart.
all of it.
Well, we're the ones that are getting married, not your folks.
I don't
they?
know, Larry. I read somewhere that a marriage without parents' approval has 2 strikes on it from the start. But if eloping's the only way,
That is my
No.
new phrase.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe you could convince
Two
your folks
strikes
that you
on
should
it.
get married.
but how, Larry? How?
Well, if you continue crystal methamphetamines,
I'll bet we could get some advice from the marriage counselor over at the church. His
Dr.
name is
Scott.
Hall.
same
Phil
thing.
told me about him. He teaches a course in marriage and family living at the college.
Do you think he could help me with my folks?
Family life.
It's worth a try, isn't it?
That's what we called it when I went to Catholic school in the 90s and 80s. Family life. Glad to know where it dates
My
back
folks
to.
don't understand the way I feel.
Hmm.
So that's the story, Mr. Hall.
Oh, well.
Do you think you can help us get married?
No.
Why, I'm in favor of marriage. In fact,
Not
I spend a
yours.
good deal of my time helping people to get ready for marriage.
But not you.
Now, let's see. You've known each other for...
3 months, 1 week, 2 days, and 17 hours.
Dump her now.
And you're 18, Sue? And 19, Larry? Have either of you ever been in love before?
Why
Well-
did they cast 50-year-olds as 20-year-olds?
But not like this.
Like,
This is the real thing.
Yes.
I had a chum in college who had the real thing with 8 successive girls.
in the
Well,
same
it's
night.
all right if you have it, fine. It's a very important factor in building a happy marriage. But tell me, how do you
Yes.
know it's real love? The kind you can get married on?
It's
Why,
14 karat.
ever
They
since
bid
I
it.
first met Larry, I haven't wanted to date anyone else. The whole 3 months now. And besides, I haven't even had one quarrel with him.
No quarrels. Why not?
Fight
No
him now.
differences of opinion? Or no opinions?
Fight him in front of me.
What do you talk about on your dates?
Nothing.
Oh, movies and popular songs.
Breathing.
Orchestras, dancing.
And
Larry's chosen profession, engineering?
no, I don't understand any of it. I don't like to hear about it.
Why, Sue, honey,
Dear
I
God.
didn't know you felt that way.
I just kept bringing it up for no reason.
Well, it seems you two may have some things to talk over and settle. Might well ask yourself some questions before you get too serious about marriage.
Yes.
Oh, look. What do you mean?
What sort of questions?
Do you have
Well,
poster board to show
questions
us?
for Cupid.
Ah,
Might say he should ask them before he fires those arrows.
poster board.
We call this Cupid's checklist. First, do you have similar backgrounds?
He has a hook
Similar
for-
basis for your ideals and standards.
Are you both Protestants?
Second,
Yes.
are you real friends?
Do you actually not
Comrades,
hate the
pals
other person?
through thick and thin.
He said comrades in
Third.
1950. Yo.
Do you both understand marriage?
Marriage.
Oh, not the kind in most movies or most popular songs, but the real everyday kind of marriage between real people.
Not the fake
You
type.
understand it?
Oh,
No.
golly, Mr. Hall, I don't know the answers to all those questions. I just know that I'm in love with Sue. Is that bad?
No,
Yes.
that's good.
Sure. And it's good when you recognize that you don't know the answers. It's a good sign.
Why are they talking
I
to Dick
don't
Van
know. I think we're friends.
Dyke?
And maybe we can
I
understand
think-
marriage, but backgrounds. How do they affect getting married?
Let's explore that. So
Well, come over here a minute. Perhaps I can show you what I mean.
my poster board
What's
isn't
that?
working.
I call it a marriage development board. It represents the psychological distance between a husband and a wife from the time they are born until they die.
I like dolls. I just need to justify it.
But what does it all mean?
Well,
Yes.
let's set it up for you and Sue. When you are born, you
Yes.
inherit a great many differences from your parents.
Oh,
That's part of your background.
I'm a doll.
That makes sense, all right.
Now, as you grow up, you each develop separate and unique personalities.
One a
Your
curmudgeon,
mental growth,
the other a racist.
your emotional outlook,
Yes.
your standards and ideals.
Hmm.
Larry, your distinctly masculine outlook on life, and Sue, your feminine way of looking at things, your capacities to love and be loved. In these and many other ways, you each acquire a background. So that when you first met,
These are
you
not
were
innate.
probably farther apart. Probably
from
more
your family.
distinct individuals than when you were born.
But I don't want to marry a girl like me. I want to marry a man like him.
Don't lie, Sue.
So even though we're close together here, we don't know how far apart we are there.
That's right. When you two met, there was probably an early physical reaction. A romantic attraction that pulled you together.
Yes.
A love appeal that hit you sort of boing.
How did you know?
Well, it happened to me. It happens
Behind
to
a
some
dumpster
degree to
once.
most couples who become happily married.
Behind
It
dumpsters.
takes more than this boing. For you see, if you're too far apart psychologically, if your backgrounds are not similar enough,
If one of
it
you's
can
born.
cause a great deal of argument and unhappiness until...
It's gone.
Where'd it go?
That's what you'll be saying about your romantic love if these other things cause a breakup.
Pithy dialogue.
No, sir. This is forever with Larry and me.
Fine, I hope so. But don't you think it's wise to take time to find out how much strain these differences might put on your romantic love?
Stress
But there
test.
isn't any time. Larry's going away in a couple of months.
Yes. Did you two ever see these figures on length of engagement and how it relates to chances for happiness in marriage?
He has facts on a stick.
Two separate studies showed the chance for happiness improves with a longer engagement period.
I play with
It's
temper.
fair for 6 months. Better for a year or 2 years.
Yes.
Is that
If the
because there's a
engagement
better
goes
chance
on
to
past
find
3
out some of
years-
these differences and become real friends?
Yes, a chance to find out if your relationship will wear well.
Yes, but can't we settle these differences after we're married?
And if you aren't successful, before you become too deeply involved, find out if the distance might turn out to be too great.
Oh.
Here's another angle that should interest you both. How age when married affects the chance for happiness.
More facts.
You can see that the chances are better after the man reaches 21 or so.
Your chance for happiness is highest in your 30s.
The same study showed that the woman must be 19 or 20 before the chances for happiness begin to be good.
Do you see that?
But why? What's the difference between 19 and 21 or so?
The difference is in you the next few years. You, Larry, and you, Sue. Young people seem to change and mature in these years from 18 to 21 or even later. So that a person you might marry at 18 or so will seem like quite a different person to you a few years later.
Oh.
Gee, hon. Doesn't take an engineer to see that we're on the bad part of the curve of these graphs.
Oh, Larry, you are an engineer.
All of them.
Yeah. I see our chances aren't so good
25.
now.
Whee!
What are we going to do? I thought you were going to help us get married.
After 30, you're just skidding towards the grave, really, as far as happiness goes. I say that
I believe I can.
from 30
I
years.
think you two have a lot of what it takes to build a successful marriage.
Money!
Yet you wouldn't try to plan and build a house in 3 months, would you?
Money.
Shouldn't a marriage have better planning?
Money.
If you two are going to build a successful family team that will last for 40 or 50 years, how long do you think it should take to get ready for it?
All right. How do we know when we've done it?
Well, there'll be a wet spot afterwards.
When the two of you are ready for marriage, you'll sense a new feeling between you.
Oh.
The two of you united as a pair, thinking as one unit, acting as one unit in the building of a marriage and a new family.
Wow.
Your sense of pairedness shows up in the way in which you consider what's best for the pair of you over what you want individually for yourself. Think how often you speak of things from my point of view instead of ours.
Think about it,
How
Sue.
often you say, I want, instead of we want.
Yeah, Sue, you selfish shrew.
I guess it wasn't my folks that needed convincing, it's me.
Oh.
I mean, it's us, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah, we'll say.
And so, in
And
terms
that's
of the
how you
checklist
lose
for
your
Cupid,
autonomy.
Larry and Sue began to examine their readiness for marriage.
Do we have similar backgrounds? Do we agree on our religious beliefs? And have the same feelings about religion in general?
Girl.
Do we have the same ideals and standards and tastes?
Well.
Do we enjoy the same friends? Do we share the same interests?
Do we?
And what about Sue and me? Are we real friends?
Are we?
Do we have a real happiness in being together?
No.
Talking? Or just doing nothing together?
Just breathing.
Does each of us really want to make the other one happy?
I mean, it's fine.
Do we have a real interest in each other? And a sense of pride in each other? Do we know each other's peculiarities? Do we both have a spirit of give and take? Can we quarrel and come out of it with something better than before?
Quarrel hands.
Do we really understand marriage?
That vagueness.
Do we understand the social aspects of marriage?
Oh.
Have we
And
an
that you'll be
understanding
married.
about money matters and how important it is to have enough money to do more than just get by?
Okay, that's real talk, though.
Do we understand the physical aspects and the family side of marriage?
Serve your parents.
Do we know how much work there is to a marriage?
No.
And overall, do we have a feeling of
His tie's all
paired
tucked
unity?
in.
Those questions were helping us to find out just how strong our relationship was, and helping us to strengthen it.
Father, we went to a book burning today.
So the next time we called on Mr. Hall,
Yes.
we realized how much he had been helping us.
Golly.
He had been talking for some time with our parents, and there seemed to be general agreement that Sue and I now had a much better idea of just how much psychological distance still separated us.
Well,
If you want to, Sue,
yes.
your mother and I, we can make arrangements for you to begin school at State U this fall with Larry instead of at the junior college.
If we want to.
Then, if you two get along, in school, that is, if you continue to reduce the psychological distance, then perhaps at Christmas vacation or at Easter vacation,
Yes.
we'll be glad to announce the engagement.
Oh, Larry!
Until then, it's
And
your
then we can
dirty,
be married
dirty
when Larry
secret.
graduates in 2 years. I mean, 1 year and 10 months and 3 days.
Gross.
Yes? If the engagement period gives you two the opportunity to work things out together. If you both still want it.
I guess you might say we're engaged to be engaged. Mr. Hall, we both want to thank you. And say, now do you think we have anything more than...
Boing!
Why, yes, I think you've made a good start towards getting ready for marriage.
More than boing. You heard it here first, folks. Make sure you have more than just boing. That was Are You Ready for Marriage by Coronet Films. Wasn't that just lovely? Oh, I saw y'all in the chat room, all the comments. Yeah, they were boomers. So this is 1950, meaning they like filmed this in 49. It's aimed at high schoolers. That means these are people that were born right before or during the war that it was like aimed at. So they would be seeing this in middle and high school. Bless their hearts. Bless it. And mind you, this was the progressive stance at the time. Like, vaguely like liberal stance at the time of like, well, it's good to have things in common, and once you go to college, a girl going to college, 1950, that was still kind of fresh and new and different. So they were playing with some interesting ideas back then. Let me see here. Marriage on the Rocks. After 3 months, they went away to Stepford, and she was never heard from again, where she got her reprogramming. Oh my god. Yeah, no, in a way they were kind of trying to control the population, because like people were like running away into marriage like immediately, especially some of them, like the last cusp of the generation right before them, the people that were actually in the war, were getting married right around the war time to like have a family before the war. Like, it was very weird. So this was the first like, hey, a war is not happening right now, you should look at what family life is. Like, very weird time capsule of a film. Oh, seeing all this in here, I was not ready. Yay, I'm glad you weren't ready, Samantha. Oh, yes. That line about like, I don't want to marry a woman like me, I want to marry a man. Like, mwah, chef's fingers. It was so delicious, I can skip dinner. Oh my god. And yeah, and he asked her, not the daddy. Like, that was still kind of unorthodox at the time. And the fact that they dance around, like, it sounds weird to have a film talking about like, oh, it's, you know, it's important to have the same religious beliefs or like similar mindset about religion in general. Not outright saying like you have to have the same religion, how dare you date outside your religion. Like, this is at least like taking a step outside of it. It's so weird. Like, what is conservative by even like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, this being 70 years ago? 70 years ago. This was still progressive for its time, bless their heart. So, that said, I'm so glad you guys tuned in today. There are plenty of different avenues for you to go out and change the world at your own pace, and I do want to lift some of those up right now. So, the first organization is the Marsha P. Johnson Institute, not Martha, Marsha P. Johnson Institute. They're an organization made by and for Black transgender people. And they do all sorts of like workshops and empowerment and all sorts of really interesting, cool different projects out there trying to expand the lives of people of color, especially Black people that are transgender. So they're a really cool organization. I've seen different artists that I like a lot, supporting them, encouraging people to at least go and stalk them on different forms of social media. That way you stay up to date on what they're doing and you can support those causes, or you can actually financially support them with a donation as well. On the subject of money, there is a organization called MPD 150. They're an organization that actually got together and did a report about the Minnesota Police Department and their 150 years of what they've done for the community, or what they've done to the community. And so they put together an entire report on that you can read more about and see what their findings were over on their website at mpd150.com/FAQ. It has a whole entire FAQ there where they go through their proposal to defund and eventually, in their case, abolish the Minneapolis Police Department, which they have moved forward with and City Council has voted yes on. So, seeing what that can look like, what a world after 20th century policing can look like, is important for everybody, even if you're only for reform, even if you're only for defunding, even if you're only for abolition. It's good to see what those pieces are, how they interconnect, and what the differences are. That way we're further educated about all those different things. And then last but not least, we have, again, by Ava DuVernay, the director of The 13th, the full feature film is available on YouTube. It is on Netflix, but Netflix has uploaded it to YouTube, so anyone can watch it whether or not you have a Netflix subscription. You can go ahead and click on that link and then tell it to watch later, and it'll save it to your list of things to watch later that I just put inside the chat room there. It's a fascinating documentary about the abolition of slavery with the 13th Amendment, and specifically the loophole that says you can still enslave people as long as it's punishment inside the prison system. And that gave a lot of credence to what our current prison system looks like today. So I highly advise people looking further into that and finding out what companies they should or maybe should not be sponsoring anymore with their Made in America stamp, and the small print is that it was made by jail labor in America. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you want to support me and everything that I do, you can by being a sponsor over on my Patreon, or throwing a coin to your Witcher, or just sharing my stuff on all forms of social media. If you like my stuff, go ahead and follow me on this video. If you like what I do, go ahead and hit like, subscribe if you haven't, and share it out there. Be like, oh my god, there was a funny ass presentation. By the way, in every single one of these videos, as soon as they are done, I've been going back in and putting timestamps at the bottom, so that way you can jump ahead past the pre-show and go straight to the film if you want to on every single one of my previous live streams that I've done as far as trash cinema goes. So that way you can just bookmark it and hop over and watch it with friends together. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back here on Monday doing a feature film, of which I'll be announcing over the next couple days. So I hope everyone has a fabulous rest of your week, a beautiful weekend. Stay safe, stay sane, treat yourself and treat yourself gently. I love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in.